Welcome to another episode of Beyond Boundaries, a talk show where we bring you insightful and inspiring stories of leaders who are changing the landscape of education in India. Today, I have the privilege of hosting a remarkable leader who is an engineer, an MBA, an entrepreneur turned edu leader. He transitioned into school education 10 years ago, taking the role of the director at ShivaShikshaSadan, a school that he holds as dearly as an elder sibling. Under his leadership, the school has won the Best School Award in Haryana 2023, and in 2022, his school was recognized with the Best School Award, which was graced by the President of Mauritius. His vision is to transform student development from mere academics to holistic growth, and this year, he celebrated the Golden Jubilee of ShivaShikshaSadan. So, it is an honor sitting with you.
Let's say here. Thank you.
So, let's start with the good old days. From walking down the corridors of the school and now heading it as the director. How has this journey been for you, and how has you seen your elder sibling develop over the years?
It has been a proud for being a Shivian. And this proud does not only pertain to me. There are many families, many Sonipat, the civil society of Sonipat, many of them wants to be a part of Shiva. So being Shivian is a proud for many of us, and I am one of them. Since my childhood days, if I turn back and have a look of my school day, the school has evolved a lot, but the values and ethos have remained same. The passion we used to carry in the days while I was a student is same that we are carrying still. So in terms of a progressive journey, yes, we are fortunate that we have evolved a lot. In terms of ethos, we are fortunate enough to keep them alive after 50 years of this journey.
That's amazing. So you're still grounded, and the roots are still instilled and joined by the values that you share with your family, and now being, adding that to the school.
Perfectly, yes.
So you have made a significant career shift from being a computer science engineer to earning your MBA from IIM Lucknow, and now being the edu leader at Shiva. How has this transition been for you?
See, Shiva has always been in the blood, in the talks, in the mind, on the mind, everywhere. So even if I was pursuing my career as a professional engineer, being consulting to many of the institutes, universities, as a partner with HP for providing servers, storages, Wi-Fi campuses and this, that. And we used to do all that stuff for Shiva also in those times. So Shiva has never been off the plate. So Shiva has always been the priority. Even while I was doing some manufacturing stuff for a couple of years, many a days of a week was spent over here to take care of this elder sibling, as you mentioned. And the transition, I'll not say it as transition, it is a journey wherein I found that the inherent me has also developed as Shiva, like my father. So this is not a journey, this is the destiny I have met. And I'm really happy that I'm being able to take care of this wonderful ecology called ShivaShikshaSadan.
So thank you for the answer, sir. So during the different phases of your life, being an engineer, then doing your MBA, earning that master's, then going into manufacturing with IT equipments, who was your biggest supporter, or who all supported you or guided you during these transition or these phases of your life?
See, my father is a perfect mentor, a hardcore trainer, my guru, my everything. So he mentored me in such a way that it was not really visible, but things were happening as and how he wanted me to develop. So the journey I have undertaken after my studies have really been remarkable under his guidance. and he has been thoroughly supportive. The family has wonderfully given a pleasant yes to every initiative I have taken in my life. And I am really blessed to have such a family and such a mentor in my life.
So no matter what decision you made, right or wrong, your father was backing you up all the time, giving you a guidance as well, like, tweak this a little. It's not always about like being right, but choosing what is right for you.
See, ours is a relationship of perfect Indian father-son duo. So it's less about discussion. It's about either he says a yes,
and then you have to do and then you have to do it.
Or he'll tell me what to do. So there are no tweaks. So most of the time he agrees to what I request for. And in case he's not happy with what has been requested, I'm glad to choose my way as guided by him.
So isn't that how it's supposed to be? You have that guiding force behind you. You get that guidance where to go. Or sometimes, in life we get directionless. We don't know even if the decision that we are taking is right or wrong. And backing from such a figure in your life, you have that boost in that confidence boost in your journey.
That's very true. As I mentioned, I have been very fortunate. See, the developmental journey of Arun Bansal as a human being has been such that I perceive that the time in my life is very short for what I need to do. So there are a lot of changes, a lot of developments I'm expected to undertake, or I envision to undertake, especially in the sphere of education. And there are no times.
A lot of things to do and
less time.
No time.
Yeah.
So what was your childhood dream?
So my childhood dream changed year on year as I progress. At some point of time during my classroom when I was 5, I just wanted to be some sort of IAS, having a gunman besides me or something of that sort. As I grew up in my middle school, at some point of time I wanted to be a pilot while I undertook my first airplane journey. Then at some point of time, because my mother has been a wonderful teacher, she has always taught me inside classroom, inside home and everywhere. So at some point of time, and while everything at home has been so much, teachery. So I wanted to be a teacher at one point of time. But this journey of being an educator, I don't find myself in a leading position. I find myself in a contributing position, and I always mention it to my peers.
So that's the quality of a true leader. Even when he is leading, showing the path to others, he says that he is in a phase where he is contributing to others' success. Thank you for that statement, sir. So as an edu leader, what challenges did you face, or perhaps are still facing in this journey?
Anything while there is a progression. So there are many things that you come across at some point of times which you foresee as challenges. But over my experience of 42 years of my age as of today, I've seen that these challenges make you very strong. And most of the times, these are there to make you a better person, to switch you to a better contributor to the society. As far as the recent challenges in the education domain that you are talking of, I would like to mention that the paradigm shift of new education policy is going to be a boon, and the society at large is not able to see what kind of entrepreneurs, what kind of scientists, what kind of aeronautical engineers we are going to produce after we gradually shift to.
So new pathways are open now.
Yeah,
which didn't exist in your school.
See, we have been fortunate that people like us so much that the school is packed to the capacity, and we have many third generation students with us. So their grandparents and now their parents and now their students. So we cannot obviously take down the intake immediately. But yes, there are ways that we are chalking down, something like increasing the number of resources in terms of...
That's where your entrepreneur side come into the picture and like how to expand this.
Yeah. So rather than scaling down the number of students, we are trying to capacitate the team more so that every child gets his own share of tinkering.
And gets that attention that they need.
Yeah. So the team has been wonderfully looking towards the Western world, wherein most of the part of this NEP has already under practices. So we have been able to see many of the pedagogies which we can incorporate in India. And the team wonderfully, take cognizance of those pedagogies. We bring them here. We bring trainers from abroad who trains my team for a little longer period of time rather than usual. And then the team sits together, customize it in an age-appropriate, India-appropriate manner, and then we take it in the classroom. So this is how we have been working towards.
So not only giving your students this awareness about the world, but about our heritage, about our culture, about the values of India.
That's true.
So we know that you have deep passion for technology. So how does this passion influence your daily decision making as a director?
See, technology is something which you need to adopt. There is nothing like a yes or no. The technology is already in our lives. We need to understand that as an educator, it is imperative onus of ours to rightly suggest the usage of that technology in our classrooms. So when I get up in the morning, many of the days I think, have we reached the stage of metaverse yet? No. How are we progressing? Where are we now? Then what are the transitions which are required while our classrooms will be a part of this metaverse? And what are the things that are going to sustain? What are the things that are not going to sustain? One of my favorite things as a technology leader is keeping the younger ones away from technology. Yeah, I don't like...
That's a googly.
I really do not like the pre-primary kids
sitting all day long in front of their tablets.
See, if we talk about the development, so you can see the fingertips. If we allow a child of foundational stages to use the keyboard multiple times a week, you'll see the fingertips will flatten away. So these are few nuances we need to take care of. What are the age-appropriate time while you introduce technology to the child? What are the right equipments for him to give? What are the right softwares to be used? So I think a lot of time that I give myself for tinkering or thinking over goes into the how we are going to embed technology in our classroom, to what extent. And I think we have been pioneers for doing so, and people look towards us. People know me personally as a technology leaders because I have consulted many of the institutions here while I was working for HP and while I was in technology domain. So people obviously look towards us. What is the prevailing technology in our classrooms and this, that. So we are very happy to be seen as technology leading school in the area.
Can you recall a moment where you felt the most accomplished and rewarded as the director of the school?
It was an international conference hosted by Intelligent Minds Group under the contiguity of Education Ministry of Mauritius, and there were like 20 countries
who participated.
There was representation from UK, London. There were people from Kuwait. Many countries. There were people from Japan, and we were like 25 educators, a group of 25 school principals and school leaders. And I was fortunate to be chosen as the leader of that team. I leaded that delegation. And the ideas we represented to the world, and people were like, India is going to be a superpower again, with the kind of new education policy, the ways the new education policy has been suggesting. So I think having this trophy in my hand with so many edu leaders cheering me up and President of Mauritius himself praising the efforts was one of the moments where I felt this is one milestone which has been rightly achieved.
That's great. That's great. So do you remember any of the ideas that you shared on that platform with our audience here?
See, the most of the discussion was around NEP. So NEP was in the nuance stage, and education policy of Mauritius is also emerging on the same pace. So we were like seen as somebody who could greatly contribute. We even got an offer from Ministry of Mauritius to start a school there in Mauritius with the support of their ministry. So I think most of the parameters that our new education policy is suggesting, something like skill-based education, which is the requirement of today, rather than capacitating students with knowledge, capacitating them with skills is the right thing to do.
So hands-on learning, focusing more on, how learn by doing it. So in your opinion, what makes ShivaShikshaSadan stand out from other schools? So I know one is technology, that I know.
See, one, we are not standing out. We, as I mentioned, we have been a contributor and we contribute with our peer schools. We have a lot of respect for others who have been contributing in the same sphere. India has a lack of resources in public domain to educate children. So edupreneurs like me who have given their life, soul, money, family for this cause, I don't see them as competition. I see them as a dear contributor. So coming back to your question, how do we stand out? One, we have an edge that we are so loved by people that we are packed to capacity. So rather than doing some marketing stuff for students to lure for admission, we have more time to invest ourselves in their growth. Other parties, being myself a known of technology thing, we are able to import a lot of stuff. So for example, we imported some robots. These are modular robots we imported from Denmark recently. So which makes us the only school in India having such a capacity of robotic kits in our classrooms. And they have been wonderfully integrated with subjects like physics, maths, coding, and many more. So this is how people see us. The pre-primary team of mine has developed such a wonderful curriculum, which is exclusive, exceptional, and is the need of hour. So here in our school, we do not teach 26 letters of alphabet. Rather, we teach them through 44 sounds. So many a times you'll find my students running in the corridors, on the stairs to get the sound of. So my
phonetics.
Phonetics, the phoneme, you got it right here. So 44 phonemes, we give it to the 44 sounds, we give it to them. And as they get like good with those, then the things progresses. Similarly, my team has been taking up CPA approach of Singapore for taking up maths. So it is not like 4 plus 4 is equal to 8. So many a times in my classrooms, 4 plus 4 is equal to 6 plus 2. Then sometimes it is 4 into 2. Then sometimes it is 2 raised to the power 3 and many more. So this is how the team has been wonderfully and exceptionally doing things, which is giving others also an edge to see us follow. And we help as many of those reach out to us to learn those skills and those pedagogies.
And what would be one key learning that your teachers follow at your school? that you have passed on?
I have passed on is not the right statement, but I'll give you the first statement, what is the right thing. So my father, as the senior leader of this institute, he always says, whenever we need to make a decision, you just think if this is right for you, if this is right for your child. For example, if we are hiring a teacher, so we just think one day this teacher is going to be in a classroom where my child is studying. So do I need to think twice to send him in my classroom? If no, then he's the right fit. If yes, then I need to look forward. Then kaizening them so that they are abreast with latest technologies, latest pedagogies and everything. Similarly, if we think of giving them a hygienic water, so that day I'm carrying a water bottle from school, so it means the water of school is not good for others to drink. So we just think if it is good for me, then it is good for others. So my team also carries the same passion. So if whatever they are teaching, if that is enough for their own child, from a teacher to be taught, then they are at their best. So with these little thoughts, we go inside the classrooms and we have been contributing very well.
So in a nutshell, putting yourself in their shoes and then understanding the outlook.
Correctly mentioned.
So what is your vision for your school for the next 5 years?
5 years is a short time you're asking me for. So I would have been more happy if you would have...
50 year kar lete.
See, as I mentioned in my previous answer also, I think in coming 5 years, we'll be moving towards metaverse. So we'll be having different sections of kinesthetic learners. We'll be having different sections of oratory learners. And the AI would be in place wherein teachers would be making worksheets of level 3 of Loom taxonomy for one classroom and level 5 of Loom taxonomy for other set of students. So these are few things we have in mind. So it means we are working towards the personalization of an educational journey for every child. So in coming 5 years, we'll be having a lot of data, a lot of analysis being done by that data, how and on what concepts students dip, where do they face difficulties, what are the areas they do well. So I think integration of more and more technology inside the classroom is one thing that is going to happen. And with that technology, we are going to take better decisions for our students in their classrooms.
So for integrating the technology into your curriculum, do you prefer certain publication or certain books that you know that have inbuilt this digital learning into their regular textbooks?
See, publishers have been great help, obviously. I really do not appreciate the idea of government to only go in for NCERT books. NCERT is doing wonderfully well, but other private publishers have been contributing this space in an amazing manner. Coming back to your question, we do not get everything served on a plate from those publishers. So the publishers make a book keeping a vision for whole of the India, the 36,000 schools. And for me, I have a different purpose, different set of socio-economic background, different set of financial capability. So I need to customize them in a manner which is best suited for my child. So we obviously take help from we do not beat around the bush, we do not reinvent the wheel. We take cognizance of whatever has been done and then take that forward in a manner my teachers take that to the classroom in the best possible way, which is good for a Shiva.
Can you share an example of a new program or initiative you successfully implemented at your school?
Not very new, but as new as being held, one of the episode held yesterday also. So Train the Trainers is one of the core program that we run, and it is very close to my heart. See, the pedagogy is evolving like anything. the society is evolving at a very great speed. The things are changing. Education domain has actually seen a massive progress in past few years. The teachers are there in the classroom and they have less of time to go beyond those classrooms on a daily basis and find new things. So it becomes on us as a school leader to bring those stuff in a time limited manner to them and get it served here. So Train of the Trainers is one of the programs that we are successfully implementing. And while a teacher becomes skillful on something, I think it reaches few hundred students, maybe sometimes thousands of them. So this is the right thing to do, and we are very happy to do that.
Is the Train the Trainer program or a workshop or initiative, is it like a regular activity? Do it every week or bi-monthly or quarterly?
See, we do it at least 10 times a year. So to my perception, at least 100 hours of training shall be done on an yearly basis. And we are able to manage it quite well during vacations and many days wherein we don't have students to cater to.
And so you also have innovative clubs such as Beyond Academics, just like our show Beyond Boundaries. Could you tell us more about this initiative?
Earlier, schools used to have houses for extracurriculars. And those houses used to do some certain activities and used to compete against themselves. Now, as the society is evolving, there are many fields that are opening up. And Beyond Academics has taken such an extensive width and depth that which cannot happen on a large group. So, if a student is interested, say for example in photography, if there are 50 students who are interested for photography, so I think school shall have a photography club. Similarly, so we have clubs which are like catering to the communication needs. Many of them are interested in foreign languages, so they are taking care of it. Then we have Aryabhatta Club, who is taking care of students beyond curriculum for the numeracy needs. Some of them are doing some wonderful research. So one of the Shivian got an award at University of Oxford in John Locke essay competition, so which is like very prestigious. And yeah, so students from all over the world, they give their entries towards that competition. It is very prestigious, and one of our students went there to receive that award 2 years back. So these are the stuffs these clubs are. We have a volunteering club wherein our teachers mentor the students to take care of the underprivileged kids. So you'll find some of the Shivians going and taking workshops on menstrual hygiene in some of the areas where women are still to know of their rights and privileges. And then we have peer teaching club wherein a student takes care of other students in school, out school, underprivileged, all kind of settings. So these clubs have been remarkably doing very well. We have Wings of Fire, there are scientists, budding scientists. Yeah. So they are in their labs doing some kind of experiments, this, that. We have Techno Club, which help teachers to know which part of what curriculum could be integrated with what robotic kit, what coding could be written for easing out a particular subject. So clubs is one thing which is very close to my heart, and students are really doing fantabulous works in those clubs.
And in terms of assessments, because till now we've been talking about education policy, classroom, technology, students, teachers, but everything has to be evaluated in order to, innovate, or even if we are trying to break through, right? So what do you see assessments as a roadblock or as a mere opportunity to, improvise an existing process or any policy to make it more efficient?
We are overweighing assessments. So it is nothing. It is part of the process. It is as good as a lesson being run in a classroom. So assessment, because many of the opportunities are gathered for students on basis of those assessments, that is why they are being seen as either challenges or opportunities. So to my purview, assessment is very simple thing, especially for a teacher to understand if the lesson has gone to the roots or not. To my perception, it is less for a student. It is more for a teacher. So, but assessment has a very important role, but it shall be rightly done. As I said, that no assessment sheet commonly available for every child shall serve the purpose. We shall have separate set of students, but the education system of India is still evolving, and we have seen uniform assessment being taking place. That is also required for filter out things. See, India has lack of resources, and those resources have been lacked over years. For example, competitive examinations. So people call them the entrance examinations. I call them the elimination examinations. Because less of them are going in and more of them are being eliminated. So is this an elimination or an entrance? So assessment will improvise soon with this influx of the ideas from NEP, but still the universities and school department on behalf of Government of India is still need to, they still need to come to a truce where to join hands and make it common so that it becomes, because now students are like, they prepare differently for CBSE and they prepare differently for JEE or NEET or any other ND or anything. So by that time we are able to make it common, I think we are on the winning side. Rather, to my perception, there shall be separate kind of evaluation for students who are interested towards ND, who are interested towards medical, who are interested towards engineering, and that shall also evaluate their learning at school level.
So rather than getting into that stage later on in their lives to decide, okay, defense is a different line of study, and medical is different. It should be integrated beforehand, somewhere around 8th standard or 9th standard.
So in a school you can give multiple of them, no? So you get to know which interests you more, which does not interest. So rather than at a stage wherein you need to decide your career on that basis, you have a lot of time, many years to have taste of every field and then choose accordingly.
What is your passion exactly about? Otherwise, down the line, after 12, students are kind of figuring out what do we have to do in life. So when we talk about assessments, what do you feel, or in your perception, what is the value of co-curricular activities such as Olympiad examinations? In a student life, that's a separate part, and for school.
Olympiads are very good contributor. See, I perceive everything as contributing because we are taking up a common cause. The cause is the progressive journey of a child in terms of knowledge. So somebody who is interested beyond curriculum in maths, as a school leader, I have less of the resources to evaluate, less of the resources to do the needful. Olympiad comes in picture. So somebody who has taken up maths on a more challenging level, on a basis which is beyond the regular curriculum, therein they can show up their capability. So this is how I perceive. It is something which I also look forward from our clubs. So anything which goes beyond regular curriculum, so whatever is academic and beyond curriculum shall be tested through Olympiad. This is my take on that.
So now as we head towards the end of this wonderful conversation, I would like to engage you in a rapid fire round. The questions will be rapid and I hope your responses will be full of fire. So, okay, let's start. Gift of knowledge or intelligence?
Procuring knowledge.
Being a director or engineer or an entrepreneur?
Learner.
Assessments in school or assessments outsourced?
I think mix of those.
Your thoughts on publication houses in India?
They are doing wonderfully well. They have been a great contributor. I think Government of India shall support their initiative and they shall perform better with the support of government.
So this would be a piece of advice. I'll say a word and then advice for them. So a piece of advice for policymakers.
Involve edu leaders. You always involve principals. You don't involve the chairmen or the directors. So you miss one of the perspective.
Parents.
Parents are lifeline. So they need to understand that teachers are contributing to the efforts that they need to make. So they are replacing the effort of a parent. As a parent, it is my duty to educate my child. A teacher is helping me in that duty. So
shared responsibility.
Share the responsibility. So have a lot of respect for teachers. Most of them have. Many of them become fussy. They shall not.
And piece of advice for teachers.
Teachers, think you are teaching your own child. Give the best. The same child is going to be a doctor while you will be ill. The same child is going to be the pilot on the airplane you are going to sit. The same child is going to be the policymaker, the PM of this country, who is going to decide future for you and your kids. So I think give your best shot.
And finally, a piece of advice for our audience.
Thank you very much for bearing me.
No, sir, this has been a wonderful conversation. With that, we come to the end of our show. Thank you so much, sir, for your time, for sharing your invaluable experience with us. I genuinely enjoyed this conversation.
Thank you. It has been a privilege.
A special thanks to our audience for staying with us till the very end. We'll continue to bring such stories with you. In the meantime, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Thank you.